Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures Rocksteady and Bebop by Joytoy. Now, Joytoy is a really cool company. I like a lot of the detail that they add to their figures. Mostly I do a lot of review on the Joytoy Warhammer 40k figures. I suggest you check those videos out. Those are some really cool looking figures. But with Joytoy, they pay a lot of attention to detail with their figures. So when I saw that they came out for Rocksteady and Bebop, I just had to get these guys because I know they're going to look really, really cool. And it goes with what I said in a previous video of mine about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles being in everything. Every toy line wants a piece of these figures. And like I said, everybody has, well, almost every toy line has some sort of Turtles line. And now Joytoy does as well. Now, Rocksteady and Bebop have always been two of my favorite Turtle villains next to the Shredder. I always thought they were unique. They were fun characters. And I feel like they were the best thing to come out of the original 80s cartoon. Now, I was going to do them individually. I was going to do a video separate for both of them. But, like the saying goes, you can't rock steady without a little bebop. So, with that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed. You very much appreciate it. And if you watch this video and you haven't subscribed yet, then I please ask that you subscribe and also check out my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles playlist. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here they both are in packaging. I do like the packaging for these two. So you got like this basic black. You got Nickelodeon, Turtles, and Joytoy. All right, you got their names right here. You got a nice picture of both figures. I do like those. And then you get this open window where you can see both the figure and accessories. All right, spinning around to this side. Got a bunch of legal. Come around to the back of them. All right. You get this really cool picture of both figures. I do like that a lot. You got Nickelodeon, Turtles, Joytoy, and a little bit of legal, plus some official badging here. All right. Spin them around to this way. You get a cool picture of each figure on their boxes, which I really like. We're going to just spin him around here. Looking at the top, you got your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Nickelodeon. And then underneath you have the same thing. And it's going to be the same with both of them. So, with all that being said, let's open them up and see what they're about. So first we're going to start with Rocksteady. And he looks really good. I love the overall look to him. Now there's a lot going on with this figure. So we're going to start off with the basic points of articulation with him. So first off, you do have a shoulder joint with a swivel. You have an elbow joint. And you have a wrist joint. Okay. When we bring this other arm up, we do have 2 points of articulation in the body. So you have one under the ribs. And you also have one at the belt line. All right. And as you see, they all move in unison. Spin them around this way. You do have a thigh joint. Eventually, there it goes. A knee joint. Get that up. You also have an ankle joint and a toe joint. All right. Get the legs back down. Now, let's start getting into his finer details. Now, his head, there's a bunch of things going on with the head. So the mouth does open. All right. So let's look at it from both sides. So you got from this side. Oops. Mouth closed. And this side. All right. His goggles do move. So they come down onto his head like this. And that side. And there's just a lot of really nice detail going on with this head sculpt. That looks really cool. Even like you go looking at his eyes look really nice and what have you. So they did put a lot of work into his head. Okay. Now you start looking down here at the body. So you have, some ammunition, some pouches, a grenade here. He has knee pads and what have you. So the detail looks really nice here. I do like it. All right. Spin him around this way. All right. You got some more detailing onto his pants, his shirt going around. Nothing really spectacular on this side. Let's bring the arm down so you can actually see the detail to the arm as well. All right. Bring it around to the back here. He has more detail to his shirt. He even has a hole in it, which is really nice. He has a spot here for, I believe that's for his knife. And then you come around a little bit more. You can see that he has some dynamite. And underneath his arm, he also has a turtle shell, which is really nice. And bring him back around to the front. So he has some really good detail to him. I love the overall look to his detail. So now let's start looking at his accessories. Now normally I would do this separate, like, look at the figure then the accessories. But because I'm doing two figures, I'm going to do it all at once with each. So first he has two hands. All right, so you got your trigger hand here. And then you have a holding hand. All right. He comes with his iconic knife. All right. He comes with a shield. All right. He comes with a display stand. All right. That says City Sewer, so that's pretty nice. Now he's on his, so this is the one that comes with Bebop. All right. He comes with his iconic gun. He comes with a boom box. All right. Hold it like this. That turns into, because when this handle comes down, move it around. It's a missile launcher, which is pretty cool. I think that was actually in the cartoon. I'm not 100% sure of it. And it does. Put that down. There. Comes with this missile here. And that just pops right on in. And you could probably actually close it with that in there as well. So it does have a missile or missile launcher, which is pretty nice. All right. And then last but not least, he has the sectional display stand. Bebop comes with it as well. It looks like two more pieces can hook into it, so I don't know if that's supposed to hook in with, like, maybe later on down there might be a shredder and other figures that are going to be part of this. But he does have this stand. So now let's start seeing how all this stuff works with him. So let's see what kind of hands we have on him right now. So he does have two holding hands, a holding hand and a trigger hand. So that means you can swap the hands around. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the gun in first. All right, that slides in very easily. No issues with the gun. All right. Then he has his knife. All right. That works very well into his hand. No issues with the knife. Okay. We'll swap the knife out and get his little shield here. Right. Uh-oh. Oh, the whole hand came off. So, matter of fact, seeing how that hand is off, let's swap hands around. All right, so that hand popped in pretty well, and his head just came off. All right, so let's swap this hand out too while we're at it. Oops. Hands don't want to swap out. Ah, There we go. All right, so the hands swapped out pretty easily. No issues with any of those. All right. Now let's try to get the shield on like we were trying before. Now, the fingers move very easily, so it's not going to be a problem getting the shield in his hand. I'm going to tell you that right now. I love when figures have fingers. Yeah. So that fit in there really good. No issues. Now let's get this rocket launcher going. All right. Boom. So that fits in there just like that. Well, if you're going to have the rocket launcher in, you should at least have the piece out. All right. No problems with the rocket launcher. And now, because it is a boom box, flip it over. Now, because of how easily these fingers move around, oops, you can easily put this in any hand. So as you can see, he can hold it with this. All right. Same with this hand. Get that off of there. Hand's like coming off. Come on, fingers. Now, these fingers might be just a hair too soft, just because it's making it a problem trying to get things into them because they want to bend in. There it goes. All right. Put them back on the stand here. All right. So if you want to have them carry it as a boom box, you can without any issues. So overall, everything works pretty well with this particular figure. Now, one thing I almost forgot about him was that when you swing around to the back here, get this off of his hand, his knife also fits right back here. Boom, just like that. All right, so next we got Bebop. So just like his counterpart, man, they put a lot of work and detail into this figure. So first we're going to start off with his points of articulation, all right? So his head does move, all right? You got a shoulder joint with a swivel. It's a little tight. There it goes. All right. You got an elbow joint and a wrist joint. Right, get this arm up as well. You do have two joints under, like one under the ribs and one at his belt line. They all move very easily, no issues. Around this way. All right. You have your thigh joint with a swivel. All right. You got a knee joint, an ankle joint, and also he has a toe joint. So all his joints work pretty well with him. I don't have any issues with any of that. Okay, keep that arm up, keep that one down. So now let's start looking at his finer points of detail. So first off, his head sculpt's really nice. I do like the head sculpt for him. So let's check both sides out. So you have this side, and then you got that side. And his mouth does open and shut. So you can have it shut and opened. Come on, buddy. Walk right there. We go. All right. So that's pretty cool. Now, looking down at him, he has his iconic turtle skull or bone necklace. They put a really nice wash on his jacket. The same with like the zippers and everything. So that looks really cool. I like how his belt, when you open this up, is actually a chain link linked together by handcuffs. I think that's pretty neat. Spin around to the other side here. You have a grenade on this side. He's wearing his iconic Chucks. All right. And he also has the turtle shell shoulder guard, but we'll get into that on the other side. Bring him around this way. Turtles Hunter. I love this, the back of his vest. I think that looks really cool. I love the attention to detail to that. All right. Come to this side. You can see the turtle shell a little bit better. He has chains on this side opposed to a arm piece on the other. Now lifting this arm up, you can see that his leg has a knee brace to it, like a mechanical knee brace. I think that's a nice addition to him. I really like that extra piece of detail to him. So overall, he's pretty wicked, man. Now his glasses do move too. I forgot to say that. So they can move up and down. I don't know if they can actually come off. Yeah. So his glasses are removable, which is something I don't think I ever seen on a Bebop figure before. I don't think I ever seen his glasses be removable, but they do come off. So that's pretty interesting. I like that. And they pop back on very easily. Matter of fact, pop that there, pop that there. I was wondering if there's a way you could have them like really sit up, but they really don't. So now that we looked at him, let's look at his accessories as well. So like his counterpart, he does have the shields. I'm sorry, the manhole cover stand. Okay. Now he comes with a whole lot of hands. Okay. So he has the metal horns, which I love that. I think that's pretty cool. All right. He has another trigger hand. Right. He has another open hand. He has a pair of brass knuckles. All right. 1 and 2. And then last but not least, he has a guitar hand. All right. Speaking about said guitar, here it is. So he has a double guitar player, which is really cool. I love how the belt for it is all ammunition. So I love that detail too. I love the flames and everything on here. So that's really cool. I really like that. Okay. He comes with a drill gun. Okay. He comes with an assault rifle. I like the detail on this too. I like how they have the purple in there as well. All right. He comes with a pipe. All right. He comes with his iconic trash can lid shield. All right. And then just like his counterpart, he also comes with this half a sewer. All right. So now that we looked at everything, let's see how well this stuff works with them. So first, we're going to do the 2 trigger hands. So I'm going to pull this hand off. Oops, there goes his chains. And grab the other trigger hand. All right. There we go. So we'll put the drill in this hand. All right. All right. So that works pretty well. No issues with the drill gun. Now we have this one here. All right. Boom. That works really well. No issues with that gun. So I like how that works with them. All right. Next, we're going to swap these hands out. We're going to get the 2 holding hands. So here's one of the holding hands back. Now his hands swap out pretty easily. I know for a while with some of the Joytoy figures like the Warhammer guys, I was having problems with them, but it seems like the hands swap out pretty easily with this guy. So now let's first do the pipe. All right. Hands open up pretty easily. So that just goes right on in there. No issues. Now the shield. Oops. Took his hand right off. Put that back on there. All right. All right. I keep on wanting to take the dang hand off every time I want to open up these fingers. See this. All right, we'll leave that hand off for a second. So what I'm having a slight issue with and it's not a major one. I've had worse issues with hands. That the just like Rocksteady sort of had a similar problem to where the hands are like kind of squeezing in like the fingers, so it's making it hard for me to get this around it. There it goes. All right, it's on there. Come on, man, cooperate. There we go. Right. So there it goes. Took a little bit of work. I was able to get the shield on there with no problems. All right. Now let's get into the guitar. All right, so let's swap these hands off. Put the guitar hands on. So you got this one here for the pick. All right. And yeah, this does work here. Now with Bebop, it seems like it did better with his hands actually. Whoops, accidentally took them apart. To where he got more hands than Rocksteady did. Now I think I would have liked to have also seen Rocksteady come with a pair of brass knuckles. I think that would have been cool for him as well. But all right, so you could get them. Oops, if I could keep the hand on them. Oh, there it goes. All right. So yeah, you could get them into a rocking position as well with the guitar, which is pretty cool. I do like that. All right. And then last but not least, let's get into the brass knuckle hands. All right, get that off of them. All right, let's start swapping hands. All right, there's one hand, and then two hands. Eventually, like one wants to go on, the other one doesn't. There it goes. All right. So the two brass knuckles fit very well with him. No issues with those. All right, so now let's talk about this stand a little bit better. So you got your two halves. All right. You look under the bottom, you have two hook pieces and then two pieces that hook in. You just slide together like this. So now they're together and they have multi-peg spots. So you got spots all around it where you can put your figures on there. Put that like that. So you can have one of them here in the front. Like this. You have the other one over here. However you want to display them. Heck, you could even have him back here if you want him. So you could have the two of them on this. Ooh, he ain't falling over. There we go. So yeah, you can have the two of them displayed onto this piece like that, which is pretty wicked. And it looks like more pieces are meant to hook onto this. So obviously either they have other figures out or they're planning on having other figures come out. All right, so my final thoughts on these guys is these guys are pretty cool. I like the overall look to them. I like the detail to these figures. You know, there's a lot of good things going on with them. All their joints move very well. No issues with that. All their accessories swap out pretty good. Now, I do feel like Bebop got the better hand on the accessories. They gave him a lot more different things, like, you know, more hands than Rocksteady. Like he has the brass knuckles, which I think is a really nice touch and stuff like that. And well, the special hands that go with the guitar, which makes sense. But he also has the rocket launcher and a couple other goodies as well. So, you know, both of these figures are really cool. So the question is, would I recommend either of these figures? Absolutely. I would highly recommend these figures. They're really well detailed. They look really good. And they're inspiring me to look into the Joytoy toy box and see if they have any other turtle figures. I'm sure if they got Rocksteady and Bebop, they got to have the turtles and some of the other characters. especially the way how their one stand is set up, where it looks like four pieces can hook together. So I'm going to guess that there's more to this, and I will be looking into that. And if I do find any figures, trust me, I'm going to be reviewing them because these guys are awesome. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.